The Sri Lankan rupee continues to depreciate against the US dollar. And questions are now being raised as to the real stability that Sri Lanka has on its political and economic spheres. Good evening and welcome. This is Primetime News on TV1. I'm joining you tonight with my co-anchor Naveksha Gunasekara. Good evening, Naveksha.
Good evening, Charlene. Before we start off with our bulletin, let's have a look at your headlines for tonight.
News First Headlines. Main sponsor.
Durden's Hospital, dedicated to you.
President launches the online passport application system. SLPP comments on the proposed legislation to establish a broadcasting regulatory commission.
මම ඔය මාධ්‍ය හැසිරුණු ආකාරයෙන් පීඩයට පත්වෙච්ච පුද්ගලයෙක්.
යම් නියාමනයක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි මාධ්‍ය මර්ධනයකට අපි විරුද්ධයි.
Will the SLPP district leaders receive cabinet positions? Rupee continues to weaken against the US dollar. Gammadda launches a sanitation project for the Silver Candy Tamil Vidyalaya in Ragala. MTV Channel Private Limited secures broadcasting rights for the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup qualifiers.
News First Headlines. Main sponsor.
Durden's Hospital, dedicated to you.
In your top story tonight, Sri Lanka launched a new program to apply for passports online in a bid to reduce congestion at the offices of the Department of Immigration and Immigration in Sri Lanka. The launch took place in the presence of President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The online passport application system was launched at the Homagama Divisional Secretariat on Thursday. Minister of Public Security Tiran Alas said that the program was introduced to make it easy for the public to obtain their passports. According to the online passport application system, when a person completes the application process, the passport will be couriered to their residence within 3 days. The one-day service at the Department of Immigration and Immigration is also continuing. Here's an easy guide on how to apply for passports online. First, visit www.immigration.gov.lk. Then enter the password that will be sent by SMS to your mobile phone. Thereafter, scan the originals of all documents. Finally, visit the respective center for fingerprinting. The biometric registration can be done across 51 divisional secretariats in the country. After the process is complete, the passport will be delivered within 3 days for emergency cases and within 14 days for normal service.
We managed to eliminate the queues leading up to our head office. Those visiting the premises was inconvenienced by the brokers. There were issues with some of those within the premises as well. We arrested around 20 brokers within 2 days. We made changes to the appointment system, and within 3 to 4 weeks, we eliminated the queues. Then we wanted to introduce a system where people would not need to visit the head office. Many years ago, there were discussions on applying for a passport from a residential province. We have launched a program to issue passports covering all districts via 51 locations. The process is underway across all 51 sites. The President wanted to ease the burden on the people.
The President also spoke at the event.
If we want to become a developed country, we need to continue to digitize. We have marked the beginning of that here. I would like to congratulate Minister Tiran Alas and his ministry for taking the lead in this. I intend to hand over the process of documentation from birth to death to be under one ministry. He took over that responsibility and did it. The police needs these departments to act. I hope that he will be successful in continuing this program.
ඉරානාල සැමතුමා වාගේම මේක හෝමාගම නිසා
As Minister Tiranalis mentioned, since this event is in Homagama, Minister Bandula Gunawardena is also here. I was a bit afraid to sit next to him because the media personnel might come here and express their opposition to him by saying that he is trying to suppress the media and create a country like North Korea. That is what is done by the media. I do not understand why this is taken forward in this manner. Why is there an attempt to suppress the media? The penal code deals with criminal conduct. I removed it. I do not think such a move was done anywhere else, even in the Asian region. If the rights of the media and the right to expression was protected, why are you trying to take it away? Nobody wants to do away with it. I have links with the media more than anyone here. We have no desire to do away with it. The minister also has no such desire. That is not the issue here. What lies is a separate issue. There is a process in place across almost every other country when mistakes are done by the electronic media. There are government employees here. How many of them were reprimanded by the media without any facts? How many have been reprimanded by the electronic media? What is the relief available to them? How can that relief be accessed? I also face the same issue. Various things are being said about the Kurundi temple, stating that I am going to settle the Tamil people there. I instructed officials to inform Alle Velathera that Sinhala Tamil and Muslim people will not be settled on government lands and to proceed. On the other hand, they are saying that Tiriyaya will be demolished to make way for a building. There is no such thing. If you inquire about it, in 2018, a parliament committee had given a decision. If that inquiry was made, this would have not escalated. Like racism, I have instructed to appoint a committee to look into those lands. If I cannot solve this issue, how can a normal person do it? If a person here is reprimanded, what relief would they get? We are only looking to provide them with the relief. None of these drafts are complete. We are in the process of including the electronic media guidelines given by the UK to the BBC. If harm is done to a person, if false information is aired, and if that is used to tarnish an image, how many can go to courts? So, when this institution is established, a complaint can be filed with them. The guidelines should not pose a disadvantage to the media. We can act according to those guidelines. If there is an issue with regard to the guidelines, I have told the Attorney General's Department to use the exact wording used in the UK, and the decisions given by them can be used as precedent for the discussions. This is only to offer relief. I have no other reason for this. There are many other issues. Some media institutions do not have a license to air the news. Some have been issued education license. We are trying to rectify those. There is no reason for this. The minister has the right to terminate all these licenses tomorrow, stating that there is no point in taking up cases or other matters. But that is not what he is saying. In some countries, the license is renewed once in 10 years to impose a fee, and not for any other reason. A country like ours should also look at revenue. I'm not saying to introduce it every decade, but from time to time. All these licenses have been given for free. The government gave them for free. Some of them sold the license. The profit did not go to the state but into their pockets. The minister will not be looking at controlling anything. He said the media owners and the editors can meet with him. Why is there so much fear over these licenses? That is what I ask. I know better than any of them. The electronic media set fire to my house. Not only that, they destroyed around 3,000 valuable books. That is a loss to me and the country. Now what can be done? Are you asking for license to set houses on fire? What are you asking for? After I say this, someone will go to the street and say the president said something like this. If you offer the person 1,000 rupees, he would say that you need to have the right to set houses on fire. And what is the president talking about? Is that what you want? Give me an answer to that. The media can tell me what should be done when such things happen.
කදිල්ලන්නේ ඒකයි දැන් මම මේක කිව්වන් පස්සේ දැන් පාරේ ගින් කාගෙන් අහයි ජනාධිපතිතුමා මේක මේ ගෙවල් ගිනි තියන්න බෑ මොකද අනේ නැති මිනිහට කිව්වහම කියන්නේ රුපියල් 1000ක් දුන්නාම කියයි අනේ සර් මේ ජනාධිපතිතුමා මොකද කතා කරන්නේ ඔබතුමන්ලට ගෙවල් පුච්චන අයිතිය තියෙන්න ඕන කියලා ඒක දිල්ලන්නේ මට ඒ ටිකෙන් මට විසඳුමක් දෙන්න මේ හැම ජනමාධ්‍යෙම කියන්නේ මොකද්ද එහෙම වුණාම අපි කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා.
The SLPP, which forms the majority in the government, commented on the proposed legislation to introduce a broadcasting regulatory commission in Sri Lanka.
මගේ මතය ඔබතුමාලා දාන්නේ නැහනේ.
You won't carry my opinion. I was inconvenienced by the conduct of the media. It needs to be regulated. However, the independent broadcasters need not worry because it would not harm them.
ඒකට මේකෙන් හානියක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ පළතරා කවදාද ඔබතුමාට බලපෑමක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද? මාධ්‍ය වලින් සාධාරණයක් වුණාද මං ගැන
Was justice meted out by the media? And were the statements made about me corrected? It was on the front page and then became a small item in the middle. If you air all these comments, I will admit you are a real journalist. We are targeted a lot. However, we never went against the broadcasters. All the cases filed against me were false. However, what was spread in society was not corrected. There should be regulation, but we are against media suppression. If there is a rogue, that rogue should be arrested by the police. If a person is not driving properly, traffic laws must be instituted. We will appear to protect the ethical media.
The Movement for People's Council commented on the matter.
What is the message given to the media via this? If you do not conduct yourselves in a way that pleases us, you will not be able to broadcast. That is the threatening message. The president, who used to speak about democracy, the right to information and commissions of inquiry, has made a U-turn and is speaking about media ethics. Is it legal to delay elections until they favor him? He has no ethical right to introduce laws for the media after obtaining the presidency through a deal with 134 members.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna seniors announced on Thursday that the issues surrounding the boycott of the president's meeting on Monday for not informing the party about the said meeting has now completely been resolved.
Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said a decision was reached to support the president unconditionally for continuity of governance.
Now, Veksha, State Minister Indika Anuruddha Herath also said that the party has notified the president about the names of those who should be given cabinet ministerial portfolios.
The SLPP, which issued instructions to district leaders to refrain from attending a meeting with the president on Monday, attended the meeting of the leaders of the ruling party yesterday. SLPP National Organizer Basil Rajapaksa and General Secretary Sagar Karyawasam also attended the meeting called by the president. Basil Rajapaksa met the party's former heads of local government bodies and the group of MPs at the party office in Nelummawatha Battaramulla. The meeting of local government representatives was held in the morning, while the group of MPs meeting, which commenced around 1 p.m. ended around 4 p.m.
No, it became clear at the party leaders meeting yesterday. We expressed our unconditional support to the president to run the state. It will be decided in the future by the president and the prime minister during discussions with party leaders. We have proposed to do it in line with the constitution. The president will reach a decision when he returns from overseas. With today's situation, I can say there is no dispute, but I can't speak of the future. Certain groups are waiting to enter the government and have expressed their views. As a party, we propose names of those who should get ministerial positions. We believe the president will sort it out and make the appointments.
When
several names were suggested for the post of Prime Minister, our party asked to appoint Ranil Wickremesinghe. We have no need to chase away such a person. We want to protect the government and resolve economic issues in the country. There is no dispute. The government we established is strong and going forward.
State Minister Sanath Nishanta, who represents the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna on Wednesday, stressed that the future of the SLPP within the government will depend on how the SLPP district leaders are treated. He expressed the following on Thursday.
There are groups who attend certain discussions, and we were not invited to yesterday's discussion. We attend the meetings that are called for district leaders. Yesterday's discussion was for the party leaders.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramune?
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna is a team. There is no issue there. When we are working with the president and some were treated unfairly, we spoke about that. We have discussed it and come to an agreement. Basil Rohana Rajapaksha has made an official statement that we will continue to work together.
අපි දෙගොල්ලෝ තවදුරටත් වැඩ කරනවා කියලා. එතන මේකේ මම හිතන්නේ අර ගම්වල කතාවක් තියනවානේ එක ඌරෙක් තව ඌරෙකුට අලහාරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා.
I did not speak of an issue that I am facing. I spoke about the injustice done to the other district leaders who are with me.
අපේ දිස්ත්‍රික් නායකයන් වෙච්ච අසාධාරණයක් සම්බන්ධ.
මම අනිත් එක තමයි මේ අද ප්‍රසන්න රණතුංග කියලා තියෙනවා කොන්දේසි වේරහිතව ජනතාවට සහයෝගය ලබා දෙනවා කියලා.
ඒක ඇත්තටම ප්‍රසන්න රණතුංග මහත්මයාගෙන් තමයි අහන්න. ඒක මම නෙමෙයි කිව්වේ.
නෑ ඔබතුමාලා කණ්ඩායමක් විතර වැඩ කරනවා ඔබතුමාලාට කන්ට්‍රෝල් නැද්ද ඒ කෙනෙක්?
ඔබේ පවුලේ
You might have a brother in your family. All brothers don't have the same opinion. There may be brothers who have different opinions.
පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා.
ඔබතුමාට හොඳ ආමාත්‍ය ධූරයක් දෙන්නම්. අලුත් ගමනක් යමු කියලා ආරාධනාවක් ආවොත්
Mahinda Rajapaksa මහත්මයා.
We are engaging in politics from the camp of Mahinda Rajapaksa. We agree with his decisions. Just because that is so, we are not ready to say yes to everything that is being done.
UNP General Secretary Palitharange Bandara said that the President summoned Monday's meeting based on the request of the MPs.
This was wrongly published by the media. The President was informed that a group of MPs wanted to meet him. They had asked for an appointment from the President. The President gave them that opportunity. They informed him that a group of about 40 will be attending, but only 30 people attended. Who did not attend the meeting had informed him beforehand and clarified why they couldn't come. Our party has made a policy decision not to respond to such statements. Our party leader has given us clear instructions warning us that there could be insane people here and there. There is no need to respond. The President has instructed us to move forward for the country. We will follow that policy. At a time when politicians' houses were being burnt and people were looking to destroy politicians, it was President Ranil Wickremesinghe who took up the responsibility and created an environment where the people can even have a discussion like this. People should be thankful for that. The people who are trying to hold the President back and trying to tell the world that there are issues should accept the responsibility of it.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadas emphasized that there is no preparation to join a coalition government in any way. He made these remarks yesterday while meeting the party activists in Munaragala.
The President and the team that appointed him are fighting. Those who appointed him are now saying that they need ministries. The President is delaying that by the day. That political game will last 1.5 years at most. Definitely an election should be held within this year and a half. I would like to tell the President, please hold the presidential election. We are ready. Today I saw some websites related to the President's media division saying that the President's and the SLPP's affair is over and that the President is getting ready to seek support from the SJB. I have to say that it will not happen in this lifetime, not even the next. The big media game is going on today. The government led by the current President is very good at that. They are creating fake news. They spread fake news through their relatives' media. After spreading that news, the people of our country think that Ranil and Sajith will work together now. I would like to say that we will never betray the people for the sake of getting positions. I would like to say at this juncture that we always go to a position with a mandate from a public vote.
The United National Party has launched a program to reorganize itself at the grassroots level. The Central Colombo Balamandala meeting of the UNP took place in Gunasinghapura on Wednesday evening and it was chaired by Deputy Leader Ruwan Wijewardena. UNP Assistant Leader Akila Viraj Karyawasam, UNP National Organizer and Colombo West Organizer Sagala Ratnayaka, as well as UNP General Secretary Palitharange Bandara were among those present.
We have to face a presidential election next year and we have to ensure Ranil Wickremesinghe emerges victorious. Let us move forward by accepting the challenges and further strengthen the party. Those who left us are now joining us again. People of other parties are also supporting the President's plan and vision. People who were against us are also speaking in a favourable manner. The electricity tariffs and prices of goods will decrease in a few months and living conditions will improve. That is only because the President managed all administrative work alone, including the economy, and because of his program.
නිසානේ මේ ඒ තනියම ආර්ථිකය ඇතුළු සියලු පරිපාලන කටයුතු මෙහෙवला ඒ ගෙනියන වැඩපිළිවෙල නිසා කියලා මම තමුන්නාන්සලට කියන්න ඕනේ.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා මහන්සි වෙලා
When the president is making great efforts to build the country, and if we do not speak about it, someone else would forward later and gradually destroy what was built. We need to make the party strong, and within the next few weeks, we will change the structure and introduce a party constitution to give a fresh look to the party. It will become a party that the new generations will want to join. We will build a party that can go forward and build this country.
එකතු වෙන්න පුළුවන් පක්ෂයක් එකට ඉදිරියට ගිහිල්ලා රට හදන්න පුළුවන් පක්ෂයක් අපි ගොඩනගනවා.
The political sphere in the country continues to be in crisis. There are proposals, counter-proposals, debates and accusations, and all the parties across the board are working hard to secure power.
In the meantime, Shalan Gammadda laid the foundation stone to provide the children of the Ragala Silver Candy Tamil Vidyalaya with proper sanitary facilities.
The Ragala Silver Candy Tamil Vidyalaya is located in the Bulletin education zone in the Nuwara district. About 500 students study at this school, and it provides education to children up to the 5th grade. The lack of proper sanitary facilities for this school was an issue that had been unaddressed for some time. The Gammadda team caught wind of this situation and took immediate action. This afternoon, the foundation stone was laid for the construction of proper sanitary facilities for the children of the Ragala Silver Candy Tamil Vidyalaya. The project was made possible due to the contributions of V. Nadeshan, who is a resident of Vallavatta, and Lasantha Bandara, a resident of Jayala. Valapane Divisional Secretary SP Linda Kumbura attended the launch of the project today. Gammadda will continue to press on with the people to make life better for rural Sri Lanka.
When a heart attack strikes, every minute makes the difference between life and death. With the right care and treatment at the hand of the most skilled surgeons and medical professionals. With the perfect environment for recovery. Darden's Heart Centre, dedicated to you.
MTV Channel Private Limited secured the broadcasting rights for the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup qualifiers. All matches will be telecast live on Sirasa TV and TV1 from the 18th of June 2023.
A media briefing to raise awareness on MTV Channel Private Limited securing the broadcasting rights of the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup qualifiers took place at the auditorium of the Capital Maharaja Group head office. The event took place in the presence of Group Director and CEO of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sunil Kanodia, and the senior management. Officials from Sri Lanka Cricket, Chairman of the National Sports Council Arjun Ranatunga, and veteran cricketer including Upul Taranga, Taranga Paranavitana, and pace coach Anusha Samaranayaka, journalists and among others were present. CEO of MTV Channel Private Limited, Attorney Susara Dinal, elaborated on the broadcasting rights.
අපි මෙහි තරංග විකාශන අයිතිය මහරජා සමූහය වෙනුවෙන් MTV Channels පුද්ගලික සමාගම
MTV Channel Private Limited on behalf of the Capital Maharaja Group secured the broadcasting rights several months ago. The ICC had given television coverage for 20 matches including the first round, second round and the final. In the first round, each team will play 4 matches including Sri Lanka. However, television coverage is available only for 2 matches. That means you will not be able to witness the action of 2 games on television. We made a request from the ICC via Star Sports by telling them that Sri Lanka is a cricket crazy country and that we need to telecast all 4 games. They first offered to stream the 2 matches that will not air on television. That will not be a full camera production. but a 6-camera production. We got permission to telecast both these matches on television as well. We told them that would not suffice. We need to show the matches to Sri Lankans. Our request was considered, and all 4 Sri Lankan matches in the first round will be given television coverage. Therefore, from the other team, only 1 match will be telecast as a TV coverage. Scotland got only 1 television coverage game, and the rest will be streamed. 2 matches will be played per day. 1 is television coverage and the other is streaming with a 6-camera production. Those matches will stream live on www.sirisatv.lk.
ඒ මැච් ටික අපේ වෙබ් එකේ www.sirisatv.lk වෙබ්සයිට් එකේ මේව නරඹන්න අපි අවස්ථාව සලසලා දීලා තියෙනවා.
At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Maharaja Group for obtaining the local rights to broadcast these very important matches. The trouble they had taken to obtain the rights not only for the local broadcast but to go beyond that to ensure that the cricket-loving public of our country are blessed to watch all the matches that are being played. I was glancing through this document just before I came, and I came across a very interesting phrase where in one of the lines they have described the national team as maddeningly unpredictable. And I would say that's a very appropriate phrase for our national team. As you all know, we have had ups and downs, and but nevertheless, we have come out with some scintillating performances. We have been very inconsistent in our performance, not playing up to our true potential. But the fact that they came out strongly against the Afghanistan team after going down in the first game gives us a lot of hope and encouragement to know that they are definitely going to do well in the upcoming qualifiers and win the qualifying round to take part in the Cricket World Cup.
It's easy to support somebody when they're winning. It's easy to support a team that is constantly victorious. But it's more difficult to support and back a team or an entity or an institution that is struggling. But the question is not whether we win or lose. The question is, why do we support cricket? And to us, it's not about whether Sri Lanka cricket, the team wins or loses. Of course, we all prefer and like the team to win all the time. But cricket is cricket, just like life. You win, you lose. But our support and our backing remains. We decided to put our best foot forward and go ahead and bid for the qualifiers and go for it because we truly believe that cricket is something that's more than a sport in Sri Lanka. We truly believe that cricket is a great equalizer in Sri Lanka. Cricket is so much more than a sport. Cricket is so much more than just a business to us. For us, cricket represents the people of Sri Lanka.
The 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup qualifier will begin on Sunday the 18th of June. All matches will broadcast on TV1 and the Sri Lankan matches will also broadcast on Sirasa TV with expert commentary. The first game between hosts Zimbabwe and Nepal will take place on Sunday 11:30 am Sri Lankan time.
The Sri Lankan rupee has further weakened against the US dollar.
The selling rate of the Bank of Ceylon on Thursday was 335 rupees and 60 cents. The buying rate was 315 rupees. According to the data made available by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the selling rate of the US dollar was 328 rupees and 92 cents and the buying rate was 311 rupees and 69 cents.
With inflation coming down, the central bank has brought down the interest rates by about 2.5% in the last monetary policy review meeting. So when the interest rates are coming down, of course it is not at the same levels as a few years ago, but it came down by 2.5%. So when the interest rates are coming down, again people starts consuming goods and services. When people start consuming goods and services, of course the demand for dollars are increasing. That's why I always say you have to look at the interest rates and the reserve levels in the context of the exchange rate. The other reason is, of course, when it depreciates steeply in a shorter period of time, there can also be speculative forces, because when it depreciates quite in a shorter period of time, people who have dollars in hand, they delay the selling of dollars to the banking system. So as a result, the demand for dollars are increasing, but the supply is contracting. So as a result, again the exchange rate can depreciate. That's basically because of the speculative measures.
There is nothing to fear. The rate of the dollar depends on supply and demand. We are a small country. If imports for a season reach the country in 1 week, the demand for the US dollar is high. Then there is a difference between the rupee and the US dollar. There is nothing to fear. We are managing this well. The central bank purchased dollars, and that is why the rate is at the current level. If not, it would depreciate further.
The Sri Lankan government has informed the International Maritime Organization that it does not agree with the proposal to reroute the international shipping line by 15 nautical miles off the coast of Dondra Head.
Sri Lanka has requested the IMO to remove the proposal from its agenda, scheduled for the 80th International Maritime Organization session in July 2023.
The 80th International Maritime Organization session will take place in the UK from the 3rd of July to the 7th of July 2023. The proposal to reroute the international shipping line further away from Sri Lanka is to be discussed at the IMO Marine Environment Protection Committee session. Sri Lanka is scheduled to dispatch a special team to attend the Marine Environment Protection Committee session. The proposal that will be moved by the International Maritime Organization is co-sponsored by the International Whaling Commission, the International Chamber of Shipping and BIMCO, one of the largest international shipping associations representing ship owners. In addition, 8 more groups, including the International Association of Independent Tank Owners, are co-sponsoring the proposal. The proposal was put forward to Sri Lanka by the IMO based on a report presented to them by several international marine environment groups, citing that the endangered blue whale often dies after colliding with massive commercial vessels operating along this route, also citing that small fishing boats also collide with the massive commercial vessels. The Sri Lankan government had given due consideration to this proposal and officially informed the International Maritime Organization that it did not agree with it. Speaking to News First, Foreign Minister Ali Sabri said that the Foreign Ministry had requested that the proposal not be enacted. The Foreign Minister also said that a committee led by Navy Commander Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira and President's senior advisor Ruwan Wijewardena was appointed to study the matter mentioned in the proposal. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri said that all parties met and discussed the matter at length on the 9th of June 2023. The Sea of Sri Lanka is located right in the middle of one of the world's busiest and most important shipping lanes. The east-west shipping route, one of the busiest and important shipping lanes, is located some 12 nautical miles away from Dondra Head in the south of Sri Lanka. Approximately over 40,000 commercial vessels travel along this route annually, passing Sri Lanka. The International Maritime Organization, or the IMO, has put forward a proposal to Sri Lanka to reroute the shipping lane further away from the island. If this proposal goes ahead, the shipping lane will be rerouted to 15 nautical miles away from the southern tip of Sri Lanka. The new shipping lane will then be located 76 nautical miles away from Colombo, 25.6 nautical miles away from Galle, and 26.9 nautical miles away from the Hambantota port. MSC Mediterranean Shipping Company has decided to reroute its vessels passing by Sri Lanka on a new course that is approximately 15 nautical miles. MSC has also urged all other shipping operations to consider choosing a more southerly route past Sri Lanka to significantly reduce the possibility of whale strikes.
News First with the people.
Medical Help International USA is expected to donate $46 million worth of medicine and medical equipment to Sri Lanka in July.
Sri Lanka will receive $46 million worth essential medicine and medical equipment from the Medical Help International USA in July. This was disclosed by Director of Operations and Communications of Medical Help Sri Lanka Global Project, Paddy Dissanayake, who called on Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees earlier this week. She said Medical Help International donates emergency medicines and other medicine supplies to help vulnerable people of the society in coordination with the government body of beneficiary country and international, corporate and individual donors. The Medical Help International has extended its support to Sri Lanka since April 2022, to date worth 78.3 billion rupees. It corresponds and coordinates with Sri Lanka's Ministry of Health, and while there are many categories of pharmaceutical drugs that are donated, a larger volume consisted of oncology, dialysis solutions, diabetic medicine including insulin to cover the huge medical shortage in the healthcare sector. Among these assistance, a 1000 kilovolt ampere generator worth 42 million rupees granted to the Karapitiya Hospital is another huge contribution.
A discussion on the freedom of media in cyberspace was held at the auditorium of the Bar Association today.
A discussion focused on the freedom of media in cyberspace, protection of victims and the proposed legal framework. The discussion was attended by the President of the BASL, Kaushalya Navaratna, former President of the BASL, Salia Perez, and several other legal luminaries.
The freedom of expression is a fundamental right that must be protected, particularly in the digital age. Cybercrimes pose a significant threat to innocent individuals exercising the rights online, leading to severe consequences. As responsible members of the legal society, it is our duty to support towards the creating a safe and inclusive digital environment where freedom of expression can thrive without fear of victimization.
Having moved to the electronic media, we are in a situation, we are now having the media law that are now coming to the forefront. And there again, it is seen that many obstacles are being imposed by the institutions, by the government in power, and you have to apply for your license every year, annually. So unless you behave well, unless you behave as good boys, you will not get your license for the year after.
In news overseas, the India Met Department has issued an alert stating Cyclone Biparjoy has made landfall near Jakhau port in the state of Gujarat.
Gale force winds and heavy rains are lashing coastal areas of northwest India and southern Pakistan as a fierce cyclone makes landfall. More than 170,000 people have been evacuated so far. Forecasters have warned that Cyclone Biparjoy, which means disaster in Bengali, could destroy homes and crops in its path. The landfall process has started and could go on till midnight local time. Pakistan's disaster management agency has warned of storm surges as high as 3 to 4 meters along the coastline from Karachi to Gujarat.
In news from the United Kingdom now, the Privileges Committee of the House of Commons has concluded that Boris Johnson should have been suspended from the House for 90 days.
It says he deliberately misled the House, the committee, impugned the committee and was complicit in the campaign of abuse and attempted intimidation of the committee. The committee said the contempt committed by Johnson was made more serious because he was Prime Minister. In light of Johnson's resignation as an MP, the committee has recommended that he should not be granted a former member's pass, which would have allowed him limited access to Parliament, including for lunches and to see former colleagues. The sanctions recommended in the report will have to be voted on by MPs. Boris Johnson issued a robust defence of his actions and insisted that he believes that events he attended were reasonably necessary for work purposes, and above all, it did not cross his mind as he spoke in the House of Commons that the events were unlawful.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight.
To follow details of these stories and much more, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.ok and also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
For the News First team, I'm Naveksha Gunasekara.
And I'm Charlotte Benedict. Good night.